Hi people, welcome to another video on the channel, and yes ladies and gentlemen, it's a Nottingham Forest transfer rumour roundup. Yes ladies and gentlemen, there is quite a lot today. We have a confirmed deal, there's quite a few potential outgoing rumours as well as the usual amount of potential incomings as well. So sit back, relax and enjoy. But before you do, make sure you slap a like on the video, subscribe if you are in fact new to the channel, and if you never want to miss a update or a video or anything like that, turn on the notification bell. All three of those things are completely free, and without further ado, let's go. So starting off with the confirmed deal, it is Scott McKenna who is departing for Spain, specifically Las Palmas. During his time at Forest, he has made 106 appearances. He has been what is, a reasonably modern day legend. Did not put a foot wrong during his first 2 years in the Championship, was crucial towards our promotion. Made over 20 appearances for us in the Premier League across his 2 seasons. Fell out of favour a little bit over the last year or so, was out on loan for the second half of last season. However, he's left now, probably the best for his career, because obviously he's going to want to be a consistent starter for the Scotland national team as well. So that is absolutely as expected, and it gets a few quid off the wage bill as well. So yeah, it was a deal that I was expecting. I thought he would have gone to Scotland or maybe the Championship, however, but he has gone to Spain. So best of luck to him. It is a shame that he has sort of ended on a little bit of a sour note with him falling out of favour, but he was absolutely instrumental in our promotion. Moving on to the incoming rumours now, we're going to kickstart this with Wenderson Galeno. He's a 26-year-old winger who is currently playing out in Portugal, where last season he made 48 appearances, scoring 16 and assisting 12, including getting 8 goal contributions in 7 games in the Champions League for Porto last season. Some very, very good numbers. However, there is going to be some stiff interest from Juventus. Now listen, Juventus are quite the attractive club. We just about stayed above Luton Town last season, so I can understand why Juventus will be probably the favourites and have a very good chance of landing him over us. He is a right-footed player who took 60 shots with his right foot last season, compared to just the 8 with his left, which is quite a surprising thing, because often you see a lot of players that are very two-footed. They take a sort of an even-ish amount of shots, 60% in favour of one foot, 40 in favour of the other. It was completely different with this guy. He takes most of his shots with his right and very minimal with his left. Most of his shots are in the box within the 12 yards to the 25 yard sort of region. Very few goals scored and very few shots taken from outside of the box. So he likes to cut inside and get into the box a little bit more from what those stats suggest. So sort of similar to Hudson-Odoi, however Hudson-Odoi does, like to shoot from outside of the box a bit more, whereas this guy, he likes to get into the box but has that cutting inside sort of nature as well. So from what I can tell, he could be a decent player. Once again, price tag is a bit unknown, and we're going to have stiff competition from Juventus, one of the best and biggest teams in Italy. So yeah, we're going to have to cough up the cash pretty much if we're going to want to sign this guy. But also, we have lots of links to other wingers. Sosa looks like it could be, we could be signing him very, very soon. The deal being confirmed soon. I spoke about him in another transfer video. And also, we have lots of other wingers and strikers that we are linked with, which I'll get onto in a second. The next player is Bradley Locco. He's a 22-year-old left-back, and if memory serves me well, I have covered him in a transfer video at some point. I'm pretty sure it was last season. He is still out in France playing for Brest, where last season he made 35 appearances and bagged himself 3 assists. Very good on the ball, completing 94% of his passes, that being 1,263. So he looks very calm, very composed on the ball. And it probably will be a bit of an upgrade from Toffolo, as much as I think Toffolo is one of our most underrated players. I think it could be a slight step up with Aina being very good depth in a sense that he could play left back and right back as well. Aina probably is the starting left back at this moment in time, so it looks like we might want to try and upgrade on Aina and Toffolo. I think both of those players are very good to have as depth though. Also knows how to put a good cross into the box, completing 29 successful crosses last season. That is, again, another 94% of his crosses landing. Price is unknown. I'd expect it to be within the 10 to 15 million pound region. If we can get it towards the 10, maybe even a little bit less with some, clever negotiating, then maybe we could get him as a very good price, and one that I personally would be very happy with within the 10 million quid region. Because left back is not a major priority. I think another forward player or two is more of a priority, quite frankly, than a left back, because Aina and Toffolo did do quite well last season. The next player is a big one, Santiago Gimenez. He's a 23-year-old striker currently playing out for Feyenoord. He's a Mexican international who has made 29 appearances for them, bagging 4 goals. Across last season, he did make 41 appearances, scoring 26 and assisting another 8. Listen, he's a big money striker. He's going to cost a pretty penny. He has a market value of 40 million quid. To Feyenoord, he's probably going to be worth even more. We're probably talking 50 million. So it's a difficult one in the sense of we made about 50 odd million from Mangala and Niakate. Unless we sell a player, then I really don't think this deal makes sense. Unless we do something like what we did with Gibbs White, for example. You know, pay like 20 odd million and then put a fat ton of add-ons on, which would then eventually, potentially amount to 40 million. However, based on his numbers, he looks like he could definitely live up to it. And obviously, the very useful resource of compilation videos. He does look like a very, very good player. There's going to be lots of other clubs interested in him as well. However, it looks like he's going to leave Feyenoord, though, from what I've seen. But the destination is unknown. I think we are in a decent position. However, don't get me wrong, I think he will be a fantastic signing. Very, very good in the 12-yard region, finishing in the box, which is exactly what you need in a striker to score the goals inside the box. Also a left-footed player, which we don't have loads and loads of them. And predominantly a left-foot player, too, taking 70 shots with his left and just 22 with his right. Just one of his 23 league goals last season was scored from outside the box, so that backs up the point of he's very much someone who's going to finish his dinner inside the penalty area, which is what we need. Like Chris Wood, he could be one of those players that can be on a great run, you know, score 5 goals in 5 games, and then for the next like 3 or 4 games, he'll have absolute honkers. So we need a little bit more of consistency. I don't think Wood's a bad player to have. I think he can make the argument for him being the starting striker. However, he's fit for 15 games a season, so that is sort of difficult to manage with his injury record. I'm not disputing he'll be an absolutely brilliant signing. However, the competition of other clubs is going to be absolutely extremely, extremely high. And also, the fact of the price tag is going to be a lot as well. Unless we play it like how we did with Gibbs White. Offer, say, like 20 odd million and then put a load of add-ons on for it eventually to add up over the course of time. The next player is a very, very interesting one. Vitor Roque is, I think, is how you pronounce his name. He's a 19-year-old winger/striker who currently playing for Barcelona. Last season, just making the 16 appearances, which did amount to 353 minutes, which was not a lot at all. He bagged 2 goals. He says he's a winger/striker. I see him more as a winger based on how his numbers look and how his style sort of is. Both his goals came from the left wing when he was scoring. Like the sort of the positions he gets into from obviously what I can tell from numbers, because I've not watched this guy. I'm sorry, but I haven't. He likes to cut inside, sort of drift in towards the penalty area. Very different to Elanga from Hudson Odoi from what I can gather. And then again, he's not played a lot of minutes, so I'm not too sure. But he can also play up front. He has played a few games up front as well. He's also 19 years old as well, so it would be interesting to see how he does with a much more regular and consistent run of games. Also, the price is unknown because he's 19 years old, so obviously Barcelona are going to value him quite highly. He's also got a fat length of time on his contract. His contract expiring in 2031. So that's going to add a fair few more million quid onto the already fairly high price tag as well. So I think we're probably looking at about into the 20 million sort of region. Also, Barcelona are quite frankly skint, so they're going to want to get as much money out of each player that they do sell. So yeah, I think if we can get him at a decent price, then I think it could be a very good deal. However, I just don't see Barcelona being that nice to negotiate with, in a sense that they're going to want a certain amount of money. Now looking at the potential outgoings, starting off with quite a big one, Danilo. He has been linked with a fair few clubs. AC Milan reportedly putting in a bid just shy of 22 million quid, which was rejected. Other reports saying that we wanted around 34 million. There was interest there. Apparently, we want almost double that. So I think we're looking at that, we're probably going to value him at around 60 million. I do think that will be a massive dent if we were to lose him at this stage to our survival hopes, though, or our progression hopes, should I say. As I covered in my Premier League predictions, press the I there. Yeah, if you can see my hand there. Press the I there. Feel free to watch it. Greatly appreciated. As I was saying, he will be a very big loss because I think with Sangare's pre-season and how Danilo's been since joining the club, I think that's going to be our starting 2 in midfield, because I assume we're going to play with a 4-2-3-1. And he was instrumental in our first season in the Premier League when he came in January to keeping us up as well. And he's been very consistent, been not really poor at all really in many games that I can think of. So It'll be massive dent to lose him. Also, Man United have been interested. If we lose him to another English club, that'll be an even bigger blow. But also, if we do get 50 to 60 million quid, it would be absolutely ridiculous to not sell him. Because once again, you could go and replace him. We could go over to Brazil, probably go to Corinthians or someone. They've probably got, you know, another player lined up that's a similar mould to Danilo. Next player is Matt Turner. He's been linked with a unnamed Bundesliga club on loan. He's also had long-term interest from the MLS as well. He's spent some time over the course of the summer watching MLS games as well. So I do feel like if it is a good standard Bundesliga side, I do think he's more inclined to go to the Bundesliga because it's a higher level of football, but also he's from America, closer to home, that sort of thing as well. So we could see for both sides. Personally, I would just prefer to sell him if it was me, just get him off the books, because I don't see him playing for us again. We've got Sells and Miguel, who are both much better than him. We're also linked with Aaron Ramsdale, who is astronomically better than him. Ramsdale kept Turner on the bench quite comfortably for his entire tenure at Arsenal. So yeah, he's kept out 2 clean sheets in his Forest career. Yeah, it just makes sense to move him on, get him off the wage bill. But if a loan bids are the only things that are coming in for him, just send him out on loan personally. And the final player is someone who I've spoken about on the exiting door before, Nico Williams. There's been fresh bids coming in. Recently I spoke about us rejecting a cash plus player bid from West Ham. They've now since got Wan-Bissaka instead. But we have now reportedly turned down a £17 million bid from Atalanta, with us valuing him at 25 million. I think that's a fair reflection, 25 million quid. 20 to 25 is probably where I would value him at, to be fair. And I think if we do get that sort of bid from Atalanta, once again, it would be absolutely crazy and ridiculous to reject that. However, he's definitely our best right back, so then we would have to go and have a replacement in mind to get someone in. Otherwise, we're going to be panicking and we're going to have to play Aina there, who has played better at left back than right back during his Forest career. As much as he's done a job at both sides, I think he's a slightly better at left back than right back. So we would have to put him there and be sort of panicking and looking for a replacement, which is not what we want to be doing. But especially when he's fit, he's a very, very good right back. When he's playing in the right role in the right system, he's very good. So unless we get the perfect amount of money for him, very, very stupid to sell in my eyes. But thank you all for watching this transfer video. Bit of a longer one. There's been a lot of heated up rumours this week. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure you slap a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And I will see you all very soon. Goodbye.